Today, we're visiting the offices of YSL Entertainment who are planning to debut their newest girl group. What can we expect from them? 오늘 기분 어때요?
사실 오늘 제가 YSL 엔터테인먼트 연습생 된 지 5주년이 됐는데요. 정말 기쁘기도 하고 또 5년이라는 세월 동안 아직 데뷔를 못했다는 거에 대해서 좀 무섭기도 하긴 하네요. 사장님 이제 5년 차인데 저 데뷔 언제 하는 거죠?
그동안 너한테 맞는 팀을 찾을 수 없었다고 여러 번 얘기했잖니. 하지만 걱정하지 마. 미팅에서 새로운 그룹에 대한 페노메널 계획을 세웠어. 너도 멤버 중 한 명이고.
정말요? 이제 저 진짜 데뷔하는 건가요?
여기 멤버가 될 친구들이야. 인사해.
不够 charisma 冲冲 My name is 冲冲我是负责 rap 的聪聪
Hi, I'm Bok Choy and I'm the lead vocalist. Dance担当のトマトです。よろしくお願いします。
외국인?
I think there's definitely been an increase in foreign K-pop idols. Back in the days, there were maybe Super Junior's Hangyang and a few Korean American here and there, but now it's getting more common to see K-pop idols who don't have any ancestral connection to Korea. What we're observing is the transnationalization of K-pop music. Revenue-seeking corporations such as our greatest competitor, SM Entertainment, have been at the forefront in building these transnational cultural connections. It's also a way to increase the appeal of K-pop to nearby Asian countries.
So basically it means to expand the market for K-pop and to increase revenue.
K-pop isn't new to Hybridity. We can see this in the stylistic choices in music and even in the actual production process. With the numerical increase in foreign K-pop idols, one could say that this hybridity has become even more complex. You could even say that this process of hybridization has quite literally extended down to the very ethnic makeup of K-pop idol groups. As for the ramification, well, it may be possible that this can give birth to a new form of Asian recognition, which may engender collective feelings of belonging to the same cultural space.
Is that really the case?
It's possible, but what I'd like to point out is that the increased level of hybridity as characterized by the influx of non-Korean K-pop idols is not a seamless process. The hybridity in K-pop vis-a-vis foreign K-pop idols actually has a lot of conflicts and edges involving the constant negotiation of identities. What I mean can be demonstrated through three interrelated points that concern nationalism, identity, and localities.
Is this an essay?
One way you can think about hybridity and non-Korean K-pop idols in Korea is in terms of Korean nationalism. The increase in non-Korean K-pop idols function as a form of international recognition and validation.
Entertainment companies scout for overseas talent, but they also actively hold global auditions. It's how I joined YSL Entertainment. There are non-Korean people in different countries who actually want to be a part of K-pop and take actions towards it.
Additionally, one scholar Fur notes that these stars are the manifestation of the celebrity notion of multiculturalism in Korean society. These idols, when they're successful, are central to the construction of a narrative that Korea has become a place where it is possible for foreigners to succeed. However, this is a contingent on them going through a Koreanization process where they acquire skills and abilities that will allow them to navigate Korean culture and media. Multiculturalism celebrates diversity, but the success and celebration of non-Koreans is based on their assimilation. As these non-Korean idols practice Koreanness, it legitimizes what Han calls the notion of cultural distinctiveness and superiority, which is at the root of Korean nationalism.
You can also see this reflected when variety shows air foreigner specials, where non-Korean celebrities are invited to talk about their experiences living in Korea. This is usually done in a very positive way that reifies the notion that Korea is great. The increasing diversity in K-pop functions as reassurance and international validation. It affirms nationalistic feelings.
The second point that I think needs to be raised here concerns negotiations of Korean identity. I'll first begin with some background information. K-pop is highly connected with Kim Dae-jung administration's export initiative to brand Korea as a creative and innovative country. This active effort to export Korean popular culture was successful when K-pop quickly gained a large following. What happened after is that there has been a formation of Korean culture where popular culture plays a key role. Under the assumption that they could ride the Korean wave, the Korean Cultural Ministry branded other forms of culture with the K prefix. This idea of K culture evokes an accessionalist and nationalist view that sees Korean culture as both an imprint and carrier of Korean people's distinct spirit, identity, and character. This means that cultural identity is no longer tied to tradition and origin. The K in K-pop is a brand, a commercial product loaded with nationalist sentiment.
What's most interesting about the presence and even popularity of these foreign idols is that now an ethnic non-Korean can represent Korea and be its face at the international level. Not only has Korean culture and its identity on the international stage become associated with modern pop culture, this culture is also represented by individuals who are not Korean. The Korean government is also highly involved in promoting K-pop as a symbol of Korean modernity and using it as a tool of soft power. This brings the idea of Korean identity into question. What kind of Korea is being represented at the international level?
Take the cases of the Asia Song Festival. The Asia Song Festival is a concert that brings acts from all over Asia to facilitate cultural exchange. It is organized by the Korean Foundation for International Cultural Exchange, an institute under the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism.
At the 13th Asia Song Festival in 2016, we see two multinational groups in the lineup representing South Korea, TWICE and NCT. These groups have members from Taiwan, Japan, and mainland China. With the inclusion of non-Koreans as representatives of Korea, the boundaries that separate the others, in essence non-Koreans, and us, Koreans, become blurred. Along with changing ideas of Korean culture, perhaps there is room for forms of Korean identity that are detached from traditional notions of homogeneity. In the way K-pop is being actively promoted, transnationalized, and represented, we clearly see how identities are reconstructed and negotiated within the hybridity of K-pop.
We touched upon the implications of non-Koreans representing Korea previously. However, there's a bit of paradox. K-pop is also a site where national boundaries can be re-emphasized and re-articulated because there are a lot of tensions between global and local forces. You can even think of the increase in non-Korean K-pop idols as a form of cultural diversity that highlights national cultural boundaries.
When you see non-Koreans performing on stage, they're just idols. But in almost every other context, their nationality informs what they do and how they're perceived. And I think this is the most evident in cases when the localities at the edges present in this cultural hybridity come into conflict with each other.
There have already been several cases where a foreign idol's identity has come into conflict with their position as an idol singer representing Korea.
When you look back, I think one of the biggest incidents involved Park Jae-bum. His identity and upbringing as an American from Seattle came into conflict with the culture and norms he was supposed to adjust to in Korea. There was also TWICE's Zhu Yu's incident, where she was caught in a controversy between China and Taiwan after waving a Taiwanese flag on Korean broadcast. Sounds very, very bad for business.
These are different from personal scandals. They all arise from delicate political situations or sudden developments that we have absolutely no control over.
I think these are truly examples that show how the cultural hybridity in K-pop navigates a world where boundaries still matter. There are conflicts in this transnationalization with irreconcilable demands from local nationalist forces and international forces. Foreign idols can represent Korea given that they conform to Korean norms. At the same time, their origins can affect how they are perceived and dictate the rules that they must play by. Hybridity doesn't necessarily mean that the meeting of cultures is seamless and whole. There are edges within it and they're constantly renegotiated.
It's easy to think of these kids just as a marketing tool, but it's a little more complicated than that.
Music isn't just about music. It's business, it's culture, it's politics. Through the complex ways in which foreign idols serve to reinforce Korean nationalism, act as representatives of Korea, but also be subject to the conflict between the global and local, we see how hybridity in K-pop is constantly negotiated. This is a topic that is related to many other issues, such as ethnicity and Asianness in K-pop, or even regional political dynamics. But I heard that the studio's budget only allows for a 10-minute episode, so I think I'll stop here.
많은 시간과 공을 들인 걸그룹인 만큼 큰 기대가 됩니다.
앞으로 힘든 일도 많겠지만
저희가 되는 날까지 최선을 다할 거예요.
꼭 데뷔하고 싶습니다.
지켜봐 주세요.
잘 부탁드립니다.
커피 와이프.
안녕하세요. 베지걸입니다.